Before Swamiji comes, just one quick. Correct. Okay. How many of you will be comfortable sitting down? We are just. Can I have one volunteer? Maybe Anjuji? Sure. Yeah. Give your names who are comfortable to sit down for all the classes, because we are moving into the main our lecture hall, and we need names for who are comfortable sitting for all the classes on the floor. Yeah. So before lunch, I'll take names from you. Sure. Thank you.
You can pass a sheet of paper.
Yeah. For the people who will be sitting down, we will have a small table kind of a thing. Sure. And for the chair, we have a small board for you to write.
Then you can create a
you work with Anju, whichever way to communicate better. No, the phone is better. What you are saying is that's what you. No, I will go like,
No, it's phone. It's phone. Just one put out the video.
As of now. Even I will go separately for making it IT, more use of more IT later down the line. For today's thing, let Anju create and we can close it in 2 hours time. Thanks. For all the people on the phone, you have this kind of a table in front of you. Yeah, for all the floor people, you will have like this table in front of you. And for you, just board. All the future classes, because we are moving into the main classroom. Let's not talk on the constraint as of now, because constraint is something what Ashan will take care of. Actually, many more people will have to sit on the floor over there. There's very few chairs in the back. So everybody gives the name. Simple. No need to make the list. Everybody sit on the floor. And then if you run out of floor space, few people who are elderly, you leave the space for them who have some kind of a mobility issue, little bit stiffness, all these things. Yeah, that's what. Everybody sit on the floor. It's nice. Now, go like this and you pay better attention. Vedanta makes us comfortably uncomfortable or uncomfortably comfortable. Better yet. Close the door, please. short class today. Om Shruti Smriti Purananam Alayam Karunalayam Namami Bhagavad Padam Shankaram Loka Shankaram Shankaram Shankaracharyam Keshavam Badarayanam Sutra Bhashya Kritau Vande Bhagavantau Punah Punah Ishvaro Gururatmeti Murti Bheda Vibhagine व्योमवद्व्याप्तदेहाय दक्षिणामूर्तये नमः। ॐ सहना भवतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यं करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै। ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः। Yesterday we tackled the important topic of pramana. Don't pass it around in the class. This is not the time to pass notes and lists. Keep it there with you. Whoever has it, keep it there. Highly distracting. Class time is for just focusing, listening. Okay? Not to fill out forms and papers and all. You can do that at your own time. So, yesterday we saw pramana, very important topic. And what is this pramana? The pramana means of knowing. And how many did we count? Ayyo. 3. Ayyo. Okay.
6.
Abba. Finally. 6. 5 that we think we operate. That there is a question. I'm going to come to that. We think we operate 5 of them, and the 6th one that supposedly comes from outside via Shastra, handled by the Guru, teacher. So the 6th pramana is called what? Shabda pramana. So this Shabda pramana, handled by the teacher, and that is the how this self-knowledge takes place. We saw that. And then the other 5, we think we handle. And then I concluded the class by talking about, do we need to list the pramanas? Might as well. Okay. Sudden Vedanta quiz. List the pramanas.
Sure.
Yeah. No, not list each of them. All of them together are called what? Pratyaksha. Pratyaksha means direct perception, which includes 5 sense organs, the information given by the 5 sense organs. Next one? Anumana. What is that? One step inference. Then next one? Arthapattihi. What is that? Multi-step inference. Then Upama. What you had for breakfast? No. I know, that's what I'm saying. So Upama. Upama means Drishtantah. Drishya Sadrisham. That's what is called Drishtantah, an example, a comparison of 2 things. One is a known entity, the other one is what? Unknown entity. And then with the help of the known entity, you come to know of the unknown entity. Then after that, Anupalabdhi. What is Anupalabdhi? Cognition of absence. Don't just say absence. You have to say absence of what and where. Otherwise, it is not Anupalabdhi. Okay? So then, that is 5. Then the 6th one is what? Shabda Pramana. And it's not any sound, any words coming from anywhere. This is words of the Veda. This much, if it is known, if this much is understood, we can go a little bit forward. We can cover more ground today. And what is that? We can see how we have more faith in the pramanas that we operate as opposed to that which is operated for us. Nobody wants, we are a DIY culture. What is DIY? Do it yourself. Everything apne aap. Knowledge doesn't work that way. This is not how the knowledge does this. If you go to a bookshop and see a book called DIY Vedanta, do not buy it. It's a lie. It's a big lie. What you do to yourself is the horrors of the ignorance, self-ignorance. I don't love myself, I'm an idiot, all these things is DIY. But the freedom that is not DIY. Freedom that is already my known nature, I have to understand how. Through the pramana that comes from supposedly outside. And here is where the rub is. And that is why the cultivation of Shraddha becomes necessary. I don't have to cultivate Shraddha to say, I saw it with my own eyes. I already have Shraddha for the eyes. The information given by my eyes, that's why it's called eyewitness. It is final. There is somebody looking at the road, and unfortunately, two cars coming from opposite direction, they have a small kiss. Okay, yeah. An unplanned encounter, nobody is hurt, but still there is somebody is at fault. One car is going in a wrong speed or the wrong place at the wrong time. The other car is in the right place at the right time, but could not avoid this small collision. Then the police come and interview the bystanders. You are, let us say, one of the bystanders, and then they ask you which car was violating the rule. And you'll say, yes, it was the blue car, not the red car. The red car was fine, it was the blue car. How do you know? The police will ask, you say, I saw it with my own eyes. You have Shraddha. I heard it with my own ears. What did you hear? I was just passing through and you were talking bad about me to somebody else. Somebody says, how do you know? I heard it with my own ears. I didn't want to hear, but I heard it with my own ears. And so, like this, we already have oodles of Shraddha, lots of Shraddha with regard to these pramanas, which are dear to us, meaning which are close to the physical body, close to the Sukshma Shariram, as we have seen in the morning. And so the sense of identification with those pramanas is complete. And therefore, I don't need to cultivate any Shraddha because I feel I am the one operating the eyes. I am behind the ears. So I stand behind them. Therefore, I witness. This is what the whole thing is. But with regard to the pramana coming from outside, I am riddled with doubt. Samshaya is there. Viparyaya. Viparyaya means alternative facts are there, out there. Why it has to be only like this? Who is saying Veda? Who is this Veda? Bheda? Who is this? Veda is not Bheda. Bheda means difference, division. Veda is Abheda. But this is how the understanding is imperfect here because I don't automatically stand behind the words of the Veda. First of all, one can say, I don't even know what the Veda is. Why should it apply to me? Maybe it was for the grandfather, the grandmother. Even though somebody may have the name Chaturvedi, they don't even know one mantra of one Veda, let alone all the mantras of all the Vedas. Chaturvedi means one who has studied all the four Vedas. They haven't studied. Some great forefather has studied. That is how they are resting on somebody else's laurels, glory, and then they feel like they are this. But they don't even know anything. So why is the Veda relevant to me? What is the relevance of this? And then this is even more enhanced if one is not from this country. Veda is for who? Indians. Where is the birthplace of the Veda? India. So therefore, what does it have to do with me? Nothing. Why should I cultivate Shraddha, devotion, reverence? To this we have to say that anything that has universal application can no longer be considered tethered to a particular culture or a particular religion or even a particular country. Not possible at all. That's why there are certain people in the world like Mahatma Gandhi ji and other such great souls who are what? Who are no longer just for India. You cannot think of it like that. They have inspired the civil rights movements in United States, the anti-apartheid movements in South Africa. They've inspired. It has become a global issue. They are no longer citizens of one particular country, nor can the non-violent forms of resistance be thought of as what? As particular to one particular mode of being, one particular culture. This non-violent resistance, satyagraha, and then dharana, all these things, they are now, the property of the entire globe, the whole planet. They're not owned by any one thing. Similarly, a great discovery by one of the modern rishis, like Einstein, theory of relativity. It's not that it only applies to his hometown and nowhere else. It's a world treasure. It's a universal treasure. Why? Because its applicability, it is Vishvato Mukham. Vishvato Mukham means it has universal applicability to make our lives more sane, much better than before. And this kind of an applicability makes it lose its status as as belonging to a particular country, religion, and community. No longer. It loses that status. The Veda, including Vedanta, is like that. It has universal applicability. How? You can say, I don't need the Veda. I don't even know how to do a fire ritual. So why do I need the Veda? Remember, Veda includes what? Vedanta. Both of them are included. And since both of them are included, they do have universal applicability. And we'll see how in a moment. They have universal applicability because they answer the question that is burning in each and every heart, regardless of which religion one belongs to, regardless of who one thinks one is, where one is from. And what is that burning question? How do I lose this sense of limitation that is surrounding me? Any which way I look at myself, what am I? Limited. Limited. Height-wise, of course, limited. Weight-wise, seemingly unlimited, but still somewhere there is a limitation. And then time-wise, I'm limited. One day I was born, happy birthday, and then after that, what? Sad death day. Finished. One day born, one day gone. Time-wise limited. Object-wise limited. I am here, let's say, in a masculine body, occupying this particular space at this particular time. I cannot be elsewhere in an animal body or a feminine body in some other place, some other time. So, deshataha, limited. Kalataha, limited. And then vastutaha means object-wise also limited. Knowledge-wise? Hello? Yeah. Knowledge-wise, definitely limited. Money-wise, oh, don't even ask. Very, very limited. And then what? This person, besotted with so many limitations, cannot stand the limitations and tries to become limitless. Every person in the world, the same thing. They may call that limitlessness. We know some fancy lingo because we've been studying Vedanta now for 3 whole days. And so we know some fancy lingo. We can say limitlessness. But then people, the lay people who do not have exposure to Vedanta, what will they say? Happiness. freedom from a sense of bondage, whatever it is. Anybody you ask, this is what one is suffering from. A notion of limitation surrounding the body, the mind, the senses, one's resources, one's capacities, one's knowledge, etc. And this limited person, the so-called limited person, tries to become, within heavy, heavy quotes, tries to become unlimited or limitless. How? Person finds a job. The job also has what? Limitations. Person gets married. One limited enters into matrimony with another limited. Limited plus limited? Private limited. Yeah. That's what happens. And then, of course, one goes to have children because the sense of limitation is not done. Even after getting married, there is a sense of limitation. Okay, maybe it will go if I have children. Then as soon as one has children, one finds that one has even less time, even less money, even less space. What happened over here? Every person in the world is asking this question. Even if they're not asking it loudly, they're asking it somewhere deep down. And even if you don't see them asking it, you see the ways in which they lead their lives, this frenetic, frantic search, this frenetic, frantic activity. From this activity, one knows that something is not right. One says, I want to stop doing this. But then what? One is just completely, what's the word for it? Tied to this. One is tied to this. Oh, I wish I could retire. Retire. Start now. No, how can I do this? And people say, I'm a householder. I'm a book holder. Okay? Yeah. Am I a book holder? Yes. So I can drop the book. Huh? So if you're a householder, if you're truly a householder, what should you be able to do? Prop the house. Are you able to do that? No. So many things are there. Children are there. And Indian parents have this problem. They don't know when to stop parenting. They don't know. Parenting has no expiry date. In certain countries, India is definitely the leader of this pack. No. You go on parenting. Then you parent your children, and then what? Then they themselves go on to have children. You grandparent those children, and then those grandchildren have children, and you still are parenting. ये क्या बात है? You know, when is this going to end? Once I was talking in Washington, D.C., and one 85-year-old man came and said, I'm very upset. I said, why? My son is not listening to me. I said, how old is your son? 62. I said, it's okay. That's when I said, we should have some kind of a expiry date, no, like end time of parenting. There should be some kind of a stopping parenting. So I decided one should stop parenting at 50. Oh, when I am 50? No, I'm much more generous than that. When your so-called child is 50, please stop parenting. Very generous, yes. So in this way, one is feeling limited all the time. And there are two things. One is the inability to get out of this because there is this sense of obligation, bondage. And most of these obligations are not obligations at all. You ask the other person, oh, I've been doing all this for you, for your children, for your, all these things. I'm thinking of going away for some time. I'm going to take this course. Will you miss me? They will say, if they're honest, they will say no. Have a good time. Have a good time. You have done enough for us. Have a good time. Enjoy yourself. There should be some, the whole point of family life is that it is a preparation for Vedanta. And the best of marriages in India are that which are outgrown gracefully. That is what Vanaprastha is. The third ashrama, the third stage of life. First is what? Brahmacharya, studenthood, and then householder, supposedly, because you're not really holding the house, you're held by the house. House held, second one. And the third one is what? Vanaprastha. Now you can't repair to the forest because we've been cutting down all the forests. Where are you going to repair to? So you have to cultivate a cognitive separation and grow out of the codependencies that one has cultivated throughout the life. And what is codependency? Codependency is the feeling only if you are okay, I can be okay. This is a very big myth. It's a psychological, what should I say, block to Vedanta, to healthy living. Forget Vedanta, even to having a healthy, objective life. This is a terribly big psychological block. Only if you are okay, I am okay. So what am I going to do? Spend my whole life making sure you are okay. And then where is my dreams? Where are my goals? Where are my ambitions? Where is my desire for freedom? All gone. This is how the whole world lives. In this codependent toxicity, one lives. Not anybody's fault. It's the fault of Atma Ajnanam. That is what it is. This is how one lives. This is how one dies. This is how one is born again. This is how the whole cycle continues. Which is why the Vedas, from the standpoint of those of us who have studied the Vedas, makes it universally relevant. Because this is not about Sanskrit, this is not about culture, this is not even about religion, this is not even about beliefs. This is about, is this body of knowledge called the Veda able to take away my feeling of insecurity? My being subject to sorrow, my being subject to constant diffidence and questioning of myself, my being upset all the time, is it able to take away that feeling? That should be the only question. And if the answer is yes, and if the answer is a resounding yes, then the Vedas are relevant no matter where you are from, which time you come from. That you are here makes you already open to the Veda. So what is this Veda? If we look at the Veda, we find, and I touched upon this yesterday, we find that there are two areas. One is Veda, means the first portion, which is the portion which is karma kanda, action oriented. Action. Action means what? That action means the Veda recognizes that the human being cannot sit without doing anything. For that, a lot of maturity is required to just be able to sit quietly. Veda knows that if you ask this person to sit in a Vedanta class, if you ask this person to sit quietly and meditate, mayhem will ensue. Confusion will ensue. Because the person is an addict. Oh, every person is an addict? Yes. Addicted to what? Workaholic. Yeah. Karmaholic. Addicted to action. Addicted to action. Nahi kaschit kshanamapi jatu karmani atandritaha. The person is not able to sit quietly even for a second without doing anything. This is how the orientation is. Why? Because we are the product of the gunas. Maya Shakti, the goddess, has us in this, the three gunas. Sattva, Rajas, Tamas. Here the Rajo guna here is there, and of course backed by Tamas also, Sattva also. So one is keeping on wanting to do, one is addicted to doing. and addicted to doership because one mistakenly considers oneself the agent of action, about which the Gita has a lot to say. We'll see that after this elaborate introduction. So if one is addicted to doing, and then the Veda tells you the truth of you is already there, you don't have to do anything, one will not go with it. One will just leave the Veda altogether. Therefore, what? Therefore, it is said that the Veda says, keep on doing what you are doing, convert every action into prayer. The impetus for this is what is called Karma Yoga. Converting every action into a devotional prayer is Karma Yoga, and the impetus for the discussion of the Karma Yoga in the Bhagavad Gita comes from the first portion of Veda, which is actually teaching Karma Yoga without calling it as such. And what is this? You convert every desire, because action is preceded by desire. So karma pravrittihi kamasyat. So the kama, desire, precedes action. Why do we say that? Because if there were no desire, there would be no action. One would become a simply sitting Swami, SSS. Can we all become simply sitting Swamis? No. Why? Because there is a lot of agenda. Agenda means desires, things to gain, places to go, people to see. All these things. And all these desires does not make one conducive to sitting quietly with oneself, reveling in one's own glory as unfolded by the Upanishads, Vedanta. So therefore, one had the Veda is like a mother who sees a restless child. The restless child is, she wants the child to go to sleep. The restless child is not ready to go to sleep. So therefore, some kind of toys are put out and the child is given a task. Put this block in the correct hole. Round hole, round block. Square hole, square block. You keep doing like this. The child is instructed. And then what? Then the child busies itself, gets tired, and naturally does what the mother wants it to do, goes off, drifts off to sleep. Veda is also the mother of all mothers, a very loving and functional mother, I might add. She knows what these children, meaning the inner children, in the form of so many stubborn desires, what these children need. They need to be occupied. They need to know that they are actually in the process of fulfilling their desires. This much they need to know. So therefore, here, you want wealth? Do one homa. Homa means fire ritual. Do one homa. Where? Just right now, right here. What do I need? First, you need 108 bricks. Oh, where should I get them? No getting. Make them. Sit and make them. And then they should be dried in the sun. And if somebody thought yesterday night, I'll do Homa today, and then they made all the bricks, what would have happened today with the rain? Yes. Tata bye-bye to all the bricks. Correct? And then what? One has to start again. There is effort, ayasa. Why? The effort is so that one exhausts the desire itself. If there is a complicated recipe involving at least 25 steps, if somebody makes it and gives, yes, swaha, no problem. No problem. I have no problem eating it and ingesting it. But if I have to make it myself, what will I say? Never mind. Doesn't matter. Why? Because I have become wise. I have transcended the desire for this recipe. At least for now. I did not know it was so complicated. This is how it is. The rituals are also a recipe to gaining what one wants, and they are so terribly and intentionally, deliberately complicated so that two things can happen within the person. First is as I said, one grows out of the desire. Forget it. Doesn't matter. I don't want this, because who's going to sit and break the head and make bricks overnight? And then the second thing that is accomplished is that if the desire persists and it is very important for that person to fulfill that desire, then what happens? The desire is purified. The desire is purified because you have worked for it, you have converted it into a prayer. You have let it go. Because at the end of every homa, there is this word, idam na mama, this is not for me. Seems like a contradiction, because in the sankalpa, mama pata durita kshayadvara Shri Parameshwara Prityartham Aham Idam Karishye, I do this for the sake of pure inner purity, for the sake of wealth, dharma, artha, kama, mokshartham, all these things. For dharma, kama, artha, moksha, all these things I do it for the welfare of the kutumba, the family. I do it so to ward off all these difficulties in the family, for example, or to ward off the nivaranaya, to ward off the bad effects of Shani. Shani means what? Saturn. Yes, everybody is afraid of Saturn because he keeps returning. It's called Saturn return. Why he keeps returning, you have to ask him only. But he keeps returning and then does havoc in the horoscope. Okay, in one's horoscope, does all these horrors, and then therefore one prays to Bhagavan in the form of this malefic planet to ward off the difficulties caused by Rahu, Ketu, Saturn. These three are important malefics in the Vedic horoscope. So then I say all these things. I am the one doing it. Please do this for me. And at the end, what do? I let go. This ritual has been done. Swaha, finished. Indraya Swaha. I have done all these offerings for Indra. Indraya idam. This is for the sake of Indra. Idam namama. Varunaya Swaha. Varunaya idam. Idam namama. Idam namama. I have let go of the desire itself. I do that. And so it just becomes a pure prayer. And if Bhagavan has it, for me, in my prarabdha, if this wish is to come true, let it come true. So the first portion of the Veda, in and through these bulky rituals and these complicated kayikam karma means physicalized action, has in it a blueprint for my own emotional development and maturity. And also the third thing that happens as a result of doing this, the rituals, is that the Shraddha becomes complete. I have to have Shraddha. Why? Because the first portion of the Veda is based on non-verifiable beliefs. All of them non-verifiable. That I will survive death. Is it verifiable or non-verifiable? Not verifiable. That once I die, based on my karma, I will go, once the physical body dies, then whatever survives, this jiva will go to various lokas. Verifiable or non-verifiable? Non-verifiable. Then having gone to pleasant lokas, I will have a good time there. Verifiable or non-verifiable? Non-verifiable. If it were verifiable, nobody would do Shraddha, because Shraddha means what? Funerary rites and yearly rites that are done for the 3 generations of ancestors, immediate ancestors. Why do we do that? We do tarpanam, which is the offering. Why do we offer that? What are we offering? We are offering some of our own good karma, so that wherever they are, let them be happy. Let me give a little bit of my own karma, the offspring says, so that their life in the afterlife is comfort is assured. Why would I do that? If I already knew that they are having a good time, then I will keep that karma for myself. I will not give it to anybody else. But we don't know. Non-verifiable belief. That I will be reborn. Verifiable or non-verifiable? Non-verifiable belief. Series of non-verifiable beliefs, And if a belief is non-verifiable, that means it doesn't matter whether you believe it or not. Why? Because supposing I say, I do not believe in rebirth, is that a belief or not? Say yes, so we can go on. Yes. If I say I don't believe in rebirth, is this a belief or not? Yes, it's a belief. If I say I believe in rebirth, what is it? Belief. So it really doesn't matter whether you believe or not, because in either case, it is what? Non-verifiable. In either case, it's a belief that cannot be verified. So even the same thing here, whether it's rebirth or whether it's different lokas or something place called heaven, some place called hell, this is all the subject matter of the Veda. That is why I have to have Shraddha. I have to have a reverence. We can help ourselves with some logic that is anukula to the Shruti, that does not violate the Vedas. We can say that physics has shown us that you cannot put anything new into this universe. Can you add anything to this universe? No. Can you take away anything from this universe? No. All you can do is transform. You burn something, you transform it into ashes. You bury something, you transform it into the earth. That's all you can do. You can just keep changing things. And this is true of inert matter. So if matter continues and if matter cannot die, if matter cannot be put to an end, what to talk of the conscious being, aka myself, who is upon whom the matter depends to be cognized. Think about that. Why should I come to an end? That is how we use the logic, help ourselves to some yukti. Yukti means the logic that is in keeping with the Shruti, that doesn't violate the Shruti. We help ourselves to some logic, and then what happens is that we have a very solid understanding that I, the conscious being, cannot come to an end. I sense it. Because why? It's in keeping with the deepest desire. What is my deepest desire? Amritatvam. I do not want to come to an end. And then what I want is actually what is already there. So the first portion of the Veda, we cannot thank it enough. We cannot give it enough gratitude for making us grow emotionally, grow out of certain kinds of addictions, grow out of toxic relationships. We see this in the elderly people in India, even now. If you have grandparents, you can talk to them, parents or grandparents who have lived a traditional life. And you see that the Veda, following the Veda and the Vedic lifestyle has actually blessed them. And how has it blessed them? You see that they have outgrown the marriage. They don't even talk to each other, the husband and the wife. Much less say what the modern couples say, we need to spend more time together. They don't say that. I feel ignored. They don't say that. He has his own life, his own friends with whom he goes for walks. She has her own life, her own friends, her own people. They coexist peacefully, even in the worst of marriages. They coexist. They have learned to coexist peacefully. Once in a while, they encounter each other. You're still alive. Okay, great. When the paths cross, in a yajna or in a marriage or even at home during meal times, you're still alive. Okay. This is how this is a successful marriage that is gracefully outgrown. I don't require this person to validate me. I don't require this person's support all the time. I don't have to cling on to this person for dear life. That is how one has grown out of this codependency. This is something which is very, very beautiful. And so the first portion of the Veda makes us ready to ask very important spiritual questions. Is that all there is to life? Is all there is to life just going to work, coming back from work, getting married, having children, if one has children, and going places, doing this, doing that, going on holiday. Each holiday is just like the previous holiday. And of course, one clicks too many photos because now it's all digital. Before, in the time of the reel, click, click, it would only 12 photos in one reel, or at the most 24 photos in one reel. So you had to be much more mindful. Okay, is this a Kodak moment or not? I had to think about it. I could not just randomly click, 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 click. Now they have this what is this function? Burst, yeah. You just burst out and then keep on clicking. Why? What are you going to? You don't even have time to look at these photos afterwards. You send them up to the cloud. Yeah, because there is no space on the phone. We have many kinds of clouds. Okay, yeah. Many kinds of clouds are there. And this cloud means some kind of a virtual storage space. And then you pay through the nose every month so that your bursting photos can sit there eternally. So this is our lot. Before we had to be very, very meaningful. But then back to the point, one holiday is like another holiday. One action is like another action. One job is like the second job, the third job. One marriage is like second marriage, third marriage. Same thing. So same thing. Just the person looks different, that's all. Same problem, same issues. And so, therefore, I become paripakva. Paripakva means ripe, like a fruit, heavy fruit on the tree that's ready to drop. I become ripe to graduate into the second portion of the Veda called Vedanta. Vedantaha, it is used in the plural because many Upanishads are there. Vedanto Nama Upanishad. Same thing. Vedanta and Upanishad are one and the same. And then this Vedanta means Vedanam Antaha, that which occurs at the end of the Veda. Why does it occur at the end? Because I'm not ready if it occurs in the beginning. I'm not at all ready. It has to come at the end. And there's nothing after it. That means what? It is the final word on my nature. It has the final word. It has the last word. That's all it is. And so this Vedanta, I become ready for it. So Vedanta means, don't say Vedanam Dantaha. Somebody said like this in one interfaith meeting. The teeth of the Veda. No. Nothing to do with teeth. And this is some kind of a universal issue. Where some place where I went for a walk one day, was, I don't know which town, Vedanta Dental Center. So they keep thinking it is to do with teeth. Has nothing to do with teeth, okay? Yeah. Nothing to do with teeth. Vedanam Antaha, end of the Vedas. End of the Vedas is the end of my quest, is the end of all this strife, is the end of samsara. How? We'll see tomorrow. Om Purnamadah Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameda Shishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Harihi Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Harihi Om.